What I decided to speak about today is the 4 personal finance ratios. The 4 ratios are the survival ratio, the savings ratio, the giving ratio, and finally the fun and the surplus ratio. So what is the survival ratio? The survival ratio is your living expenses as a percentage of your income. And the idea is that you take all your debit orders or your automatic deductions that goes off, including the rent, your average groceries a month, water and electricity, telephone, transport, and it's all the things that you absolutely have to pay for in a month. You can't not have those expenses, otherwise you are missing something as a percentage of your income. The second one, savings ratio, is all your investments for retirement and for your wealth creation, and then also your savings towards an emergency fund or towards a specific type of asset, whether it's a depreciable asset like a car or an appreciable asset like a house, or at least a deposit for a house. So it's investments and savings, the total amount as a percentage of what you earn, and that's the next ratio. The third ratio is called the giving ratio, and the giving ratio is specifically about your benevolent spending and what you spend in order to sustain your additional family members outside of your normal household. And the last one is called I call it the fun or the surplus ratio. It's the allowable spending and the surplus that you might have after making sure that survival, savings, and giving has been taken care of. And the important thing about the survival ratio is that the lower the ratio is, which means that if your survival ratio is at 70 or 80%, it means that there's only 20% left for savings, giving, and then you almost have next to nothing or nothing for fun, spending, or even a surplus. Sometimes people's survival ratios are more than 100%, which means that they cannot save and they cannot give and they can't have fun, or they don't have a surplus. Debt payments, credit card payments, things like that also forms part of the survival ratio, because you have to make those payments, those minimum payments on a monthly basis. So the survival ratio, if you can get that as low as possible, then, which means that you are living way below what you are actually earning, then you have a lot left for saving, for giving, and to have fun with, like to travel or to have fun with, or even to keep over for the next month if you want to create an overflow system. And an overflow system, in short, is just a system where the overflow creates this barrier that you don't feel the knock that the next month it's almost month end and you run out of money. If there was a surplus from a previous month, it means that you've got more income to work with in that new month. So that's the benefit of the surplus ratio. Those are the 4 ratios. So it's survival ratio, the savings ratio, the giving ratio, and the fun and the surplus ratio. And if you keep the survival ratio as low as possible, you'll have a lot more left to spend, give, and save. Thanks.